Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is Sunil. Can you hear me? Please confirm. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's
Madhu?
audible.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you, Redappa. Thank you, Sonu. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you for joining. Okay. So in the last session, we have understood what is DevOps. DevOps, it's a methodology which coordinates the two teams called as development team as well as the operations team, which helps in faster development of software development lifecycle, isn't it? Okay. What is a prerequisite to learn DevOps? The prerequisite to learn DevOps is we should be familiar with basics of Linux commands. Okay, we'll be learning basics of Linux commands. Okay, now so let's start with Linux commands. If I want to show you Linux commands, please try to understand. To learn Linux commands, we need a Linux operating system. So if my laptop is having Windows operating system, I'm right, Madhu. So in Windows operating system, I cannot show you Linux commands. Now, if you want to show you Linux commands, I need Linux operating systems option 1. If we need Linux operating system option 1, try to understand. I need to format my laptop. Option 1 is to format my laptop and install with the Linux so that I can show you the Linux operating system. So option 1. Option 2, I don't need to format the machine. I can use VMware. I hope you may be having an idea on VMware. VMware is a virtualization software. Look at this. I have installed VMware in my laptop. I have created a Linux machine inside the VMware. I have allocated some RAM. I have allocated number of processors to this virtual machine. And then when I click on display, the Linux machine gets started. Please try to understand. Perfect. I have my Linux machine ready. Did you understand? Did I format my Windows machine? No, I have not formatted my Windows machine. My Windows machine is as it is. On top of my Windows machine, I've installed one software called VMware. I'm running a Linux machine inside VMware. This is option 2. This is option 2. Obviously, option 2 is better, isn't it? So whenever I want, I can play my Windows machine. Whenever I want, I can play my Linux machine. Whenever I want, I can come back to my Windows operating system. This is option 2. Option 3. I can also create a Linux machine on AWS cloud. I can create a Linux machine on AWS cloud. As our course is DevOps on with AWS, so we'll be exposed towards AWS environment. I hope few of you already having exposure towards AWS environment, but the participants are completely new to AWS, so they'll have a clarity how to go ahead and work with AWS environment. Okay, so this is our plan for today's session. We'll be learning how to create an AWS account. If you want to work with AWS, you need to create an AWS account. We'll be learning how to create a new AWS account, and we also once we are done with the AWS account, we'll be learning how to create a Linux machine on AWS. That's what our plan, isn't it? We need to learn Linux commands, so we need Linux operating system. So we'll be learning how to create a Linux machine on AWS. Once the Linux machine is running on AWS, how can I connect to that particular machine? The process of connecting using the terminal called as PuTTY. We'll be using one more terminal called as PuTTYgen. So this is our plan for our today's sessions. Clear of agenda for our today's session. As we all know that the prerequisite is Linux. So we will be learning how to create a Linux machine and on AWS, and we'll be experiencing the AWS environment also. Clear? Any questions, Venkat? Am I clear? Visheshika, any questions, please? Paritosh, Anurag Sharma, is that fine? Okay. Proceed. Let's proceed. Thank you. Redappa, do you have a AWS account?
No, actually, a long back I created, but nowadays I'm not using that AWS account.
Probably you need to recreate the AWS account again. Paritosh, we are getting a background noise from your end. Please mute. Paritosh, we are getting a background noise from your end. Please mute. Thank you, Paritosh. Okay. Now, how to create an AWS account? Now, if you want to create an AWS account, you need to have three details. If you want to create an AWS account, all of you, if you're not having AWS account, please follow the steps today, and we'll be learning how to create a new AWS account. You need to have your email address. Yes, we don't, no doubt we are having an email address. You need to have a mobile number. Yes, definitely we have a mobile number. Sure. If you're having two mobile numbers, you need to use a mobile number which is linked to your bank account. And you need a debit card. Debit card, we all have it, isn't it? Just these are the three details which are required if you want to create a new AWS account. Okay, so how to, I have created a document which contains the screenshots of creating a new AWS account. Obviously, the URL what you need to do, you need to go ahead is aws.amazon.com. Go to this URL. Sign in. If you already have an account, obviously you can sign in by using the email address. Or if you don't have an account, obviously we don't have an account, we have an option to create a new AWS account. Here we have an option of creating a new AWS account. Perfect. AWS account includes 12 months of free tier access. Please try to understand, very important. AWS provides you 12 months of free tier access with some limitations. This free tier access is more than enough for us to learn AWS and DevOps. It provides you free account for a period of 12 months. You don't need to worry about this with some limitations. Obviously, that's more than enough for us. Okay. Hi, Bharat. Welcome.
Hi,
So I have
sir.
prepared a document. Please have a look at this. I'll be sharing this document to you also. A clear document which contains a step-by-step approach of how to create an AWS account. Step 1, log into AWS, and you have an option to create a new AWS account. Please look at the details, what you need to enter. You need to enter your email address. Provide the password. This password is very important to log into your AWS. You need to have a unique account name. Enter your unique account name. That's more than enough. Step 1, you need to enter email address. So this is used in step 1. Email address, we have used it in step 1. Step 2, important. AWS provides you two types of accounts, professional account and personal account. We are using for personal use. We are not using for a client or something like that, isn't it? Go for personal account. Provide your mobile number with right country. Provide the mobile number with the right country. Country is also very important. So mobile number is used in which step? Step 2. We are furnishing your mobile number in step 2. Step 1, email address we have entered in step 1. Mobile number we are entering in step 2. Provide the right country. Next step. Provide the debit card details. Provide the right debit card details. So this we need to mention it in step 3. It's very easy. Let us. I'm entering my debit card details. I have taken a screenshot. Provide the address. You don't need to furnish the PAN card, so I'm not mentioning any PAN card. It will check whether the debit card what you have entered is correct or not by deducting 2 rupees from your bank account. Provide a valid OTP. It is asking you to enter the mobile number one more time. You already have entered mobile number here in step 2. You need to repeat entering the mobile number here in one more time. You get an SMS again. You need to enter the SMS. AWS provides 3 types of plans: free plan and the paid plan. We are going with free plan, the basic plan. Select the free plan option. Select your role. Select your interest. That's fine. Click on submit. Done. Thank you. Then you're done with creating an AWS account. Clear, Bharat? Is it difficult to create an AWS account?
Yes, sir. No. There is no
Not at all.
difficulty.
Do you have an AWS account?
No, sir, I don't have.
Okay, so please go ahead and create a new AWS
Okay.
account. Because we need
Yeah,
AWS
okay.
account to practice DevOps and Linux commands. So this document
Okay.
helps you to create an AWS account. Very simple. Go ahead and create a new AWS account. Any questions in creating a new AWS account? Venkat, Virender, is that fine?
No.
Thank you, Venkat. Any questions, Anurag?
No, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. So I have my AWS account, so I'll log into my AWS. We all know the URL is aws.amazon.com. I want to log in with my existing AWS. Whenever you log into AWS account, the first page, the landing page is called AWS Management Console. The console page. Remember, whenever you log into AWS, the first page what you get is AWS Management Console. As I told you, AWS is a collection of services. Together makes a cloud platform. So why did we create an AWS account? Please tell me, why did we create an AWS account? We have created an AWS account because my purpose is to create a Linux machine on AWS. To practice Linux, we need to have a Linux machine. So we are learning how can we create a Linux machine on AWS. Whenever you want to create a new machines, virtual machines, it could be Linux machine or it could be Windows machine, whatever you want. We'll be using a service called as EC2. We'll be using a service called as EC2. So what is a service which is used for creating Linux machines? If you want to create a Linux machine, we'll be using a service called as. Please mute. We're getting some background noise. Bharat, from your side, please.
So, okay.
So I'll be using a service called as any questions. Srikanth, Madhu, Anurag, Arun, any questions, please stop me and ask me a query. I have logged into my AWS account. Now what's our plan? Our plan, Srikanth, is to create a new Linux machine.
This
Isn't
is
it, Srikanth?
this is my first class, so I'm trying to understand what.
No problem, Srikanth. Do you know AWS before, or is the first time you are experiencing the AWS environment?
No, first time I'm attending this
Okay, no
AWS
problem.
class.
I've logged into AWS. I'm now creating a new EC2 machine. And Srikanth, you have missed yesterday's session, so I recommend you to go through the video recorded session. You can take the recorded session
Sure.
from the management, and I want you to
Sure.
do it before coming to next class.
Sure.
Go to services.
Sunil,
Yes.
I have a query.
Yes, Ramya.
During login, there were two types of users, right? One is root user, another was some other, and you chose
IAM
root
user.
user. Why?
By default, whenever you sign up for a new AWS account, Ramya, whenever you create a new AWS account, our account will be a root user. Okay. By default, every account which we create, by default, that is called as what user? Root user. Inside the root user, we can create some child users. Okay, for example, you are the manager and you want to have users for your team. You can create a child users. Okay. So that is related to identity and access management. So as of now, we need to log in as a root user. Okay. And what is the first service? EC2. Instances. Instances. Please observe here, there are no instances here. There are no instances. I'm creating instances are nothing but machines. Instances are nothing but machines. I
Hello.
want to create a new machine. Yes, please.
Is this
Arun.
account valid for how many months?
This account is free for 12 months.
12 months. Okay.
Yes. After 12 months, you need to pay if you're using the account. First 12 months will be free, Arun. Okay. I have logged into my EC2 service, and what is our plan? Our plan is to create a Linux machine. Look at the way we create a Linux machine. And practice is very important, especially beginners. Practice is very important. Day to day, every session is recorded. Get the recording from the management team, and then get the notes from the management, and then please go through the recording, and using the recording, please practice. I'm launching the instances. Launching is nothing but steps of creating a machines. Creating a Linux machine is total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 step process. Please observe here. We are planning to create a new Linux machine. Creating a Linux machine is a 7-step process. Do not worry about this. It's very simple. Let's proceed. Step 1, choose an Amazon machine image. Choosing an Amazon machine image. In simple words, choosing Amazon machine image is nothing but an operating system. Choosing Amazon machine is nothing but an operating system. We want to create a Linux machine. So we have different options. Look at this. We have Amazon Linux. We have Red Hat Linux. Any operating system you can select. So see Linux, Ubuntu, Server version 20. Windows Server, Windows machine, if you want, you can create it. Instead of Windows machines, what? Step 1 is selecting an operating system. Okay, I want to select Ubuntu Server. This is free. Make sure when you are selecting, it should make sure that it is eligible for free time. Our account is a free account, isn't it? Free account is having some limitations. This is Windows Server with SQL Server installed. If you select this, you'll be paying. So make sure that whatever your account is you are using it, it should be eligible for free tier. So I'm selecting this Ubuntu Server. Step 1 is done. Step 1 is selecting an operating system. Got it? Step 2. How much RAM your Linux machine should have? How many CPUs your Linux machine should have? If you want to create a virtual machine, you need 3 hardware components. Keep in mind. When you're creating a virtual machine, you need 3 hardware components. What are the 3 important components a machine should have? A machine should have CPU, a machine should have RAM, and your machine should have hard disk. These are the 3 important components every machine should have in AWS. So the machine which we are creating comes with how many CPUs? 1 CPU. How much RAM? 1 GB RAM. Please observe here. 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. Okay, fine. This is step 2. So step 3 is selecting how much memory and how much RAM you want, how much CPUs you want. Step 3, number of instances. At a time, you can go ahead and create 10 instances also. At a time, you can go ahead and create 10 instances also. You can mention any number of instances at once on demand. So I don't want instances, I want only 1 instance. So in configuration details, step 3, just mention the number of instances you want. Step 4, storage. Storage is nothing but hard drive. AWS is providing 8 GB of hard drive. Please try to understand. Storage size 8 GB. That's it. We got all the 3 components. We got the CPU. We have the RAM allocated, hard disk allocated. Fine. Next, tags. You can avoid it. Tag. We can name it later. Tag is providing the name. Security group. Step 6 is configuring security group. So try to understand this. We are creating a Linux machine. We are creating a Linux machine. So I am where we are creating Linux machine? Where we are creating Linux machine? Can you see the region here? Mumbai. AWS is maintaining the data center in Mumbai, somewhere in the Mumbai data center. So we're creating a Linux machine. I am from Hyderabad. All right. I am from Hyderabad. So once the Linux machine is successfully created, now I want to connect to that Linux machine. Isn't it? You need to connect to that Linux machine. You can connect only when port is open. You can connect to the Linux machine only when the port is open. Port is nothing but a gate of entry, access. You buy a pen drive. To be more simplified, you buy a pen drive. You want to use that pen drive. Where do you connect? You connect to USB port. Port is point of communication. Got it? Port is gate. So when you're connecting to the Linux machine, you need to open when you're creating a Linux machine, you need to open the ports. So it's suggesting that for Linux machine, SSH port will be the point of communication. So it's suggesting you that this port needs to be open. So fine, don't worry about this. This is just to understand what you mean by security group. Security group is all about dealing with ports. Step 7 is just reviewing the details. We are creating an Ubuntu Linux with 1 CPU, 1 memory. Number of instances 1. How much storage? 8 GB of storage. Just I have reviewed all my details. When you click on launch, observe, very important. When you click on launch, very important, it will ask you to download KeyPair. It will ask you to download KeyPair. A KeyPair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. A KeyPair is file with extension .pem. Please observe here. Let's experience it. Launch. Select a KeyPair or create a new KeyPair. It is asking you to select an existing KeyPair or create a new KeyPair. I want to create a new KeyPair. Keeper name can be anything. Keeper name can be anything. I want to name it as my name, Sunil. With today's date, today's 8, Sunil 8. Keeper name can be anything. I want to download the keeper. It's downloaded. Where it is downloading in the downloads folder. Fine. Keeper is down. Please look at the file extension .pem instances. View instances. I'm done with creating the machine. I'm done with creating the machine. Please observe. I'm done with creating the machine. I want to name it as anything. I can name it as any name. You can write it. Machine 1, whatever it is. Look at the machine is running state. So I'm done. Somewhere in Mumbai data center, we have created a machine. What machine we have created? Linux operating system with 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU and 8 GB of storage. That's beautiful. This is how we'll be creating machines in Linux, creating Linux machines or Windows machines, whichever you want on AWS cloud platform. Any questions, please?
Might be this question is not valid, but what is the purpose of creating Linux machine in cloud?
One
Any specific reason?
is okay. Wait, okay. 1 minute, please. Who is this? Is it Purna?
It's Srikanth.
Srikanth. Okay. The Srikanth, the prerequisite to learn DevOps is that we should be familiar with Linux commands. And if you want to practice Linux commands, we need Linux operating system.
Okay.
So that is the reason we have created Linux operating system. And instead of creating Linux operating system in our personal laptops in VM, as we know, every DevOps consultant should be having good knowledge on AWS platform. So this helps you to learn exposure towards the AWS environment also, Srikanth. Okay. So with this, you'll also have an exposure towards how to create virtual EC2 machines in the AWS platform also. So these are the two objectives behind creating a Linux machine on AWS.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Am I clear how to create a Linux machine on AWS? Arun.
Yeah, Sunil, the
Yes, sir.
key which we have created .pem file,
Which we
this
have
will be used
downloaded.
to connect to this machine.
Yes, you are right. What is the purpose of this PEM file? We'll learn it in now. We'll learn now. So what we have done, Arun? We have just created a Linux machine in Mumbai region. Am I right? Upon
Yes.
creation, it is asking you to download one file. One file is downloaded. That file is nothing but file extension dot PEM has been downloaded in our personal laptops. That's it, isn't it, Arun? Okay.
But what if this file get lost or what?
There is
We
a
can
way
download
where in
again.
which there is a way where we can recover the PEM file in case if it is lost. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Are you all comfortable creating a Linux machine on AWS environment? Fine. Okay. Machine is ready. Fine. How to connect? How do you connect? If you want to practice with Linux, Linux is a command based, isn't it? We need a terminal. We need a terminal. Okay. Fine. Very important. To connect to Linux machines, we use using a terminal called as PuTTY. To connect to the Linux machine, somewhere it is in any cloud, we need a terminal called as PuTTY. I already have Putty installed in my personal laptops. This is the Putty terminal. I already have Putty ready with me. So using this Putty, using the details, I can connect to the Linux machine. If you don't have Putty, it's very simple. Go to Google and download Putty. Within just 2 minutes, Putty will be downloaded. So Putty is a terminal which is used to connect to Linux machine. If you want to use Putty, the Putty terminal needs PPK file. What does Putty needs? PPK file. What does PPK stands for? Putty private key. To connect to the Linux machine using Putty, it needs a file called as PPK file. Stands for Putty private key. But what AWS provides us, what does AWS provided us? AWS has provided PEM file. Where is this PEM file? Obviously, PEM file we have downloaded. Where it is downloaded? I think it is downloaded in the downloads folder. This is the PEM file which you have downloaded. PEM file is useless. What we need to do, we need to convert file with extension .pem provided by AWS to what file we need to convert? .ppk. What does PPK stands for? Putty private key. You need to convert PEM file to PPK file. If you want to convert PEM file to PPK file, then we need to use a application called as Putty generator. It generates the PPK file. What PuttyGen do? PuttyGen converts PEM file to what file? PPK file. That's the purpose of PuttyGen. I already have puttygen.exe, Putty key generator, PuttyGen. If you don't have PuttyGen, so go to Google, PuttyGen download. This is the right this is the right website I recommend, chair.greenand.org.uk. puttygen.exe. If it is 64-bit or Windows machine, you download this. Very simple. I already have downloaded the exe file. So here, puttygen.exe, and open this exe file. That's it. Now, Srikanth, what is the purpose of PuttyGen? Please tell me.
To convert the .pem file to PPK.
PPK file. So what you need to do, obviously, you need to upload the .pem file, and it will generate the PPK file for us. Okay? Got it, Srikanth? Okay. Please observe the way I do it. Load. What you need to do, load. Obviously, what we have downloaded .pem file, where it is downloaded in the downloads folder. What is our file? I think Sunil 8, I think so, right? Today. I don't see this file. This is the file. This is the location. Okay, select all files. This is my PEM file. Successfully loaded the PEM file. Save private key. Just click on yes. whatever the file name you want, you can do it. So for example, I'll let it as same file name. So Sunil 8, but not PEM. It will be extension.ppk. Say done. I'm done. Please observe here what I have done using puttygen. I have uploaded ppk file and I have downloaded my PEM file. How would I am able to generate the PEM file? Sorry, I have uploaded PEM file and I have downloaded the ppk file. I have generated the putty private key. This is done by using what? Puttygen. So you successfully know how to use the puttygen, how to upload the PEM file and get the ppk file. Now my ppk file is ready. Once the ppk file is ready, now what I'll do, I'll be connecting to my Linux machine, which is somewhere running in my Mumbai location, using what terminal? Called as putty. Open putty. If you don't have putty application in your laptop, so as usual, go to Google, go to search for putty download. I recommend this organization, Chair, rename the same organization where we have downloaded, same site where you have downloaded puttygen, putty.exe, as generally it will be 64 bits, so download it. I already have downloaded. I'm opening the terminal. My purpose, my plan is to connect to the Linux machine. Okay. If you want to connect to the Linux machine, this is the Linux machine which you have created on AWS. Am I right? Any question? Stop me, interrupt me. No, not a problem. Connect, interrupt me and ask me a question. I want to connect to this machine. Whichever the machine you want, please select actions, connect. Select this. Username is Ubuntu at DNS name. You need to copy this. And then putty needs what file? Putty private key. Go to SSH authentication. Mention where exactly the ppk file is. My ppk file is in my downloads. Sunil today. I have also pointed out where exactly the ppk file is and click on open. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes. Please observe, I have successfully connected to Linux machine. Hooray! Let us increase the font size for better visibility.
How you got
1
that
minute.
EC2 user? Can you
1
just repeat
minute.
it?
Yeah, definitely. Let me change the terminal settings for better appearance and visibility. I have successfully connected to Linux machine. Clear? I have successfully connected to Linux machine, which is somewhere in Mumbai location. First point, what is the proof that we have connected? What is the proof that you are connected? You have connected to which machine? You have connected to this machine, isn't it? This machine which we have created. This is the machine which we have created. This machine is having an IP address. Observe here, 172.31.32.62. Are you getting the same number? 171.32.32.62. Perfect. That's a proof that we have connected to the same machine. Yes, now here I can connect and practice Linux commands. The purpose, try to understand. I can show you Linux in my VMware also. But the purpose is we should be exposure towards every DevOps engineer should have minimum exposure about AWS platform. So that's the reason we are doing this Linux machine on AWS so that we'll also comfortably the AWS environments also. How to disconnect? So just want to show you one command. We have a date command in Linux which show you the current date. How to disconnect. Once you're done practicing, exit. Disconnect. That's it. Shall we connect again? Yes. Shall we connect again? Someone has asked me a question. Who is that?
Yeah, Arun.
Arun. So let's learn how can we connect again. Okay, Arun, select the machine. Connect. Go to SSH client. This is DNS. Okay. Ubuntu comes with a default user called Ubuntu user. So Ubuntu is a username @ copy. Where I should paste it? Arun, what is the terminal we use for connecting to the Linux machine?
Putty. In Putty.
Yes,
Putty.
open Putty. You don't need to convert PEM file to PPK file. It's a one-time process. We already have done it. SSH authentication.
Can we
location.
save these settings for future connections?
Yeah, you can save it. There's more better easy way, Arun. Putty is one way. There's more better easy way to connect to the Linux machine that we'll be experiencing in tomorrow's session. That is by using Git Bash. Okay, we'll be experiencing it soon. Browse the PPK file. Click on open. I'm done. Arun, I'm done
Yes.
connecting to the Linux machine. Is this clear? Clear the purpose of how to create a Linux machine on AWS and how can we connect?
IP will not change in this case, or it will be the same? Yeah.
IP will be the same. IP will not change.
Okay.
Exactly. In case if you want to disconnect it. Okay. So this is, look at this. This is what we have planned for our today's session. Now you know how to create a new AWS account. The participants who are not having AWS account, I recommend you to go ahead and create a new AWS account by today. Because once you create an AWS account today, it will take 24 hours time to get activated. Don't think that if you create an AWS account now, immediately you can start creating a new easy to machine. You create a new Linux machines and practice whatever we have done. It takes 24 hours to get activated. So I recommend you to do it today so that you can start practicing tomorrow. You know the steps. I'll be sharing the document. You know the steps to create a new AWS account. Point 1. You also know how to create a Linux machine on AWS. Just follow the steps which I have shown it in today's class. Go through the video. How can you connect? Connection is one step, but how can you connect it? How can you connect it? Using a terminal called as puttygen. First, you should convert the PEM file to PPK file. You know what is PEM file now? Whenever you create a Linux machine, it will ask you to download one file for security reasons. That's called as a PEM file. You're converting to PPK file, and then you're using putty. You're connecting to that particular machine. Clear? Yes, Ramya, your question, please.
Yeah, Sunil, usually in Linux machine, we log in using username and password. So can we do something so that we can go with the same approach to connect to AWS? Linux?
Okay. First point, Ramya, we have connected to the Linux machine which we have created just now, isn't it, Ramya?
Yes.
We have successfully connected. Using which user we have connected?
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Now what AWS says, now what AWS recommends using this particular command is that this Ubuntu machine comes with an Ubuntu user. That's what Ramya, what AWS says. So we need to log in with the Ubuntu user, and whenever you want, you can switch from Ubuntu user to other root user, whatever you want. Okay. Got it?
Okay. Yeah, instead of PEM key, can't we keep a password? Like for the first login, if you use PEM file, from the next on, can't we create the password for this user?
We can do that. We have set password, right, in Linux command, which helps you to set the password for this particular user. You want, instead of PEM file, you want to set the password for that, isn't it? You
Yes.
want to connect using the username and password, like traditional normal Linux machines which we connect, isn't it?
Yes.
Administrator, root user, password. We can do that. How to do it? That all settings we need to do it. We'll be learning in our coming sessions from here.
Okay. Okay.
CentOS comes under free tier eligibility or not?
Yes, Ravirendra. Please repeat your question. Virendra, please repeat your question.
CentOS comes under free tier eligibility or not?
Okay, you want to, we have created Ubuntu operating system. Instead of Ubuntu, you want to experience CentOS. CentOS also comes with free tier. You can experience with CentOS. It's the same process, Virendra. Okay. You can also experience Red Hat Linux. Red Hat also comes with free tier. Make sure you're taking the free tier
What are
account
the
which are eligible.
what are the Linux flavors are you going to cover in this training?
As our purpose is not understanding Linux, our purpose is to understand DevOps tools. One Linux operating system, we are selecting it and we are learning the commands. The commands is almost equal in all the flavors of Linux, isn't it, Virendra? Okay, I am showing you with Ubuntu operating system. You can experience with any operating system, whichever you want. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Yes, Arun.
Suppose if we left this machine running, so what will
Yes.
happen? There will be
Very good
charges,
question.
or we have to shut down it?
Very good question, Arun. Okay, let's say you're done. We have experienced today's agenda of connecting to PuTiGen and connecting to Putty, and you have experienced. Let's say after practicing, let's say I am done with my practice sessions. We will exit first, disconnect it by using the exit command. You are disconnected the connection, and what should happen to this machine? Please try to remember. Don't directly sign out. The machine is in what state? The machine is in what state? Running state. You need to shut down the machine. Like our laptops, once we are done with the work, we shut down the laptops. In the same way, we should stop the machines. Actions, instance state, stop. Are you sure you want to stop? Now look at this. The status is stopping. You need to wait for less than a minute. The machine will be into stopper state. Just wait for a minute. Stopped. After stopping, please go ahead and sign out of AWS. This is the way we need to handle the AWS account. Let's say if you want to practice the next day, as usual, you know the URL. As usual, you know the URL. What's the URL? aws.amazon.in. Sign in. Remember your email address using which you have signed up. Logged in. The landing page, AWS Management Console. Where is our missions created? In which service? EC2. Go to services. Select the service EC2. Go to instances. Instances are nothing but the missions right now. Yes, this is the mission which you have created. Happily, it is stopped. If you want to practice, what you need to select the mission, actions, instance state, start the instance. After starting instance, you know how to connect to the instance using Putty. This is the way we need to handle the instances in AWS account. This is the way we need to handle the instances in our AWS account. Let me start the instance. instance is running. It just takes less than a minute for stopping and starting the instances. And I want to connect. What's the terminal? Putty. Actions. Connect. Go to SSH client. Select user at the DNS. Tomorrow we have an alternate way of connecting. Tomorrow I'll show you a more comfortable way, but let me connect with Putty also because Putty is more popular one. Go to the SSH, go to authentication, locate your PPK file, which you have converted.
Okay. Sunil, I have one more question.
Yes, Venkat.
Actually, the course will cover Git, Maven, and Jenkins, right?
Git, Maven, and
So,
Jenkins, yes.
so for that reason, like, are we going to have a pipeline kind of thing in Jenkins, and you are
Yes,
going to
obviously.
show us Git, Maven? And when we are creating a pipeline, are we going to have a kind of end-to-end, like, okay, one build is over at the development aspect, and maybe we can pick it up from testing aspect, something like that?
Yes, we will do that. That's the concept of pipeline end-to-end scenario. We'll discuss that.
So in that case, we'll be using YAML files also, right?
Yes, we'll also be using YAML files.
So will there be any YAML sessions, like how understanding the YAML file and
The
how
basic
can we
basic
meet?
understanding of YAML file and the basic syntaxes of we'll have one session on YAML because we'll be using YAML files in Ansible also, as well as in Docker when you're dealing with Docker. So we'll
Yeah,
have one
because
session just to have a brief understanding about YAML. It's just a file format, isn't it? So one session will be on YAML.
so from testing perspective, like, what will be the, okay, we are having ready-made scripts. We are not going to test script. So what are the
Exactly,
tools
because
like?
we are not the people who will be involved in generating the testing related scripts. Am I right, Venkat?
Yes.
So
So maybe are we going to take
we'll
one
be
Selenium
just
script, one
learning.
JMeter script?
No, 1 minute. We'll be just learning how to download the scripts provided by the testing time, and then how to run the scripts. That's all. So that the testing
Yeah.
activity can be completed as part of
So
CI/CD.
for example purpose, we are going to take one Selenium script, one JMeter script, and end-to-end show we are going to make it.
I don't have a ready-made Selenium script specific to my application. Okay. So we'll be taking one
Okay.
dummy script, and then we'll be showing you how to run the scripts. That's all.
Yeah, dummy script, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Some print command also works fine.
Yeah. That's right. That's what we're showing it. That's the part of CI/CD. Venkat, we'll be covering that.
So one Selenium script, and from performance testing, one JMeter script also is covered.
No, not the JMeter. I'll pick up the Selenium script.
Okay, so more or less the same concept works for JMeter also.
No, irrespective of which tool is used, the concept
Okay.
of CI/CD doesn't differ, isn't it? As part of Jenkins. Okay, because every project will have its own testing tool, isn't it? So our methodology of implementing the CI/CD does not change with respect to the backend tools which the testing team is using. Okay, Venkat.
Okay.
So no matter whether it's a Selenium tool or JMeter tool, it does not make difference.
Hello.
Yes, Arun. Is it Arun?
Yeah, Arun. Actually, I had just one confusion regarding this DevOps thing. So in a live environment, as you are experienced people, there
Yes.
is a separate DevOps team or or developer or tester are doing these tasks.
No, there will be a separate DevOps team in IT company.
Okay, so
Okay.
they will not do testing and not development.
No, we are not involved in testing generated scripts. We are not involved in development activity. We are a DevOps engineer. We have our own responsibilities. Okay, that you will come to learn when you are learning the tools. Then you'll understand what our day-to-day responsibilities as a DevOps engineer.
Okay, that was a confusion because I am not into Java and also Python and also
You don't
that
need
was
to
the
be a
reason I asked.
programmer if you want to be into DevOps environment, Arun. Okay, don't worry.
Okay.
Yes, even though you have no programming exposure, that does not make any problem for you. Okay. Okay. So this is our plan for our today's session. Okay, so I hope you have understood how to create an AWS and how to handle AWS. Okay, let me stop the instances. I can use the same instance tomorrow. So what's
Sunil, I
your
have one
plan?
question. Sorry to disturb
Yes,
you.
Redappa.
Yeah,
Yes,
Kubernetes Docker, how many days it will take for the sessions?
Docker and Kubernetes combination will take approximately 11 days.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes.
One question from my side also.
Visheshika.
Yes.
Yes, please. Tell.
We are also going to do any other services on AWS.
Your voice is very low. Please repeat again.
As for the AWS services, we are going to learn anything else from the AWS account, especially we are going to learn ECS.
Along with EC2, I will also show you exposure towards S3 buckets, okay, and the Route 53 concept.
Not ECS.
Okay. Not
ECS.
VPN.
It's
API.
with Docker. The similar service kind of that.
No. We'll be covering 3 services, Visheshika. One is EC2, the other one is S3, the other one is Route 53. Okay. And I'll share you some other documents and recordings of my previous batch where you can learn and explore yourself about AWS. Okay. This is more than enough for us, for a DevOps engineer. Okay. You don't need to learn in depth of AWS, but the more knowledge you have, that's always good. Okay, Visheshika. Okay. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. Tomorrow is tomorrow's plan. Day 1 was theory. Today we have experienced the AWS environment because all the tools are running on AWS. Tomorrow we'll start Linux commands. We'll be learning and digging each and every Linux commands, which are very, very important as part of the demo. So tomorrow's course session is all about complete Linux. Okay.
Hey Sunil, are you going to?
Yes, Shubham, please proceed.
Are you going to share the video link or something like today? Because I was just in my deployment phase, so I couldn't join earlier.
Okay, you need to get the videos from the management.
Okay.
Okay, and I need your email addresses to share this PPTs and documents in case if I'm using it. If you don't mind, could you please post your email addresses in the chat box here?
Yes, please.
All the participants. If I can have your email addresses, I will be sharing this as an attachment day to day. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Please post your email addresses in the chat box. Thank you, Sharma. Participants who are shared the email address, they can leave. I'll be sending it as soon as I end the meeting.
Yeah, Sunil, did you get email ID? I just know I picked it.
Chat data fine for you, Sunil.
1 minute, please. 1 minute, 1 minute. Srikanth, Bharat.
You got it, Sunil. So can we drop the call or?
1 minute, please. Bharat received, Visheshika received, Ramya received, Srikanth received. Okay, thank you all. I have received your email addresses. You'll get the notes today. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, bye.